I'm Dr. Russ Jaffe, and I'd like to talk for a few minutes about a rethinking of autism spectrum disorder, and why are there so many neurodevelopmentally challenged young people today. If we go back to the classic study by Kanner, there were about 1 in 10,000 births that qualified for autism, or what we now call autism spectrum disorder. It increased to 1 in 1,000, then 1 in 100, and in some places it's now more than 1 in 50 boys. Far too many. Far too rapid an increase to be due to genetics. So this is clearly environmental or epigenetic. It's about things that we eat, drink, think, and do. It has to do with our preconceptional care. What is the state of the parents when they conceive? It has to do with how well we detoxify and get bad stuff out, as well as get the essentials in. And it is getting harder and harder for moms and dads to get all of the essentials they need. And as a consequence, the bad stuff is building up inside people, and it is harder to get the good stuff in sufficient amounts to have a healthy conception. So, Norm Schwartz, a clinician in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin area, and I published an article a few years ago about 6 subtypes of autism. We think the spectrum has at least 6 different and distinct subtypes, and that when you assess them metabolically, metabolomically, when you look at their digestion and metabolism, how they detoxify, how they digest, you can learn a lot, and we believe guide better outcomes, lower risks. And we suggest using our wholeness, our nature, nurture, and wholeness approach. We want people to have foods they can digest, assimilate, and eliminate without immune burden. And too often maldigestion leads to immune burden that leads to neuroexcitotoxin results. And the gut nervous system and the central nervous system are both not happy, and as a result, neurodevelopment is impaired. In many of these cases, it's a battery problem. The mitochondrial source for energy is impaired. It's also the place where toxins are made more water soluble to get them out of the body, so that increases risks and potential harm. And we at Perk Integrative Health and at ELISA Act Biotechnologies have tools that can help. The LRA by ELISA Act tests and all of the predictive biomarkers available through Better Lab Tests now, available through perk.com, available through elisaact.com, ELISAACT.com, can help in individual cases enhance, improve the quality of digestion, metabolism, detoxification, getting safely the needed nutrients in the amounts necessary to activate the body's elective protective mechanisms. And I often find that people are lacking in elective protective mechanisms, and as a consequence, they're just at risk and often don't even know how at risk they are. Like most clinicians, I've learned this over time. I didn't learn it at the National Institutes of Health or at Boston University Medical Center, as excellent as that experience was. So look for someone who's comprehensive, a health coach or a professional who's up to the minute with 21st century information, and we will do our best to help you be well and happy, including on the challenges of autism or autism spectrum disorder, or now the overlap between autism and Down syndrome. And I've had the privilege of speaking for both Autism One and Options, a conference focused on these challenges and turning them into opportunities. So on behalf of all of us who want to have a healthy 21st century and allow for children to thrive and grow up to their full potential, so that there might even be a next generation of healthy people, it is time for us to be proactive. It's time for us to apply this approach. It's personalized, it's primary, it's preventive, it's predictive, and it's ready for prime time. So may we all be well, using 21st century information to deal with the challenges of the 21st century, particularly the autism spectrum disorder.